Hi, welcome to practice. Here we are. It's the 26th of August, and last night we had Black Madonna, Order of the Black Madonna, about Our Lady of Czestochowa, and also several different Black Madonnas throughout Europe. And it was Molly surprised us with a wonderful presentation, and it was really, really good. Black Madonna meets every fourth Wednesday at 7 p.m. So if you ever want to come, you can find out more about it in the Goddess Temple app. It's usually listed under the events, and I use my Zoom for that. And it was just really nice. Last night we gathered and lifted a lot of intentions. A lot of people are going through really heavy stuff right now, as you've probably noticed from my dedications in the morning for these practices the last few days. But I feel like I woke up today and it feels like there's like a tiny little patch of blue sky peeking out from the smoke and the clouds, and the weather is cool and there's a gentle breeze, and it feels like even though the world will still have all of its pain and brokenness, like there's some positive energy that's surfacing right now. So I wish you all positive energy today and beyond. Um, let's dive into our practice. Okay. I'm going to try doing this, but I don't think I can. I'm going to try though. And maybe I can, who knows? Nehes, Nehes, Nehes. Nehesem Hotep. Nehesem Neferu. Webenem Hotep. Webenem Neferu. Nuchert an Ankh. Neferem Pet. Pet em Hotep. Tu em Hotep. Nuchert Sat Nut Sat Geb. Merit Osar. Nuchert Asharenu. Anek Brak. Anek Brak. Tu Aatu. Tu Aatu. Nebet Aset. I knew more than I thought I did. Awake, awake, awake. Awake in peace, Lady of Peace. Rise now in peace. Rise now in beauty, Goddess of life. Beautiful in heaven. Heaven is in peace. Earth is in peace. O Goddess, daughter of Nut, daughter of Geb, beloved of Osiris, mother of Horus, Goddess rich in names. All praise to you. All praise to you. I adore you. I adore you, Lady Isis. Divine Destiny, Path of the Divine Warrior. That's our card today. Divine Destiny, Path of the Divine Warrior. In the Dharma, we define the warrior as the warrior bodhisattva who there's several divine cards in this deck. There's Divine Destiny, Divine Guardian, Divine Sisterhood, Divine Sun Child. 4 different cards beginning with divine. The warrior bodhisattva is not fighting any person, is instead fighting her own lesser qualities and the demons of suffering that perpetuate themselves in the world. This is the spiritual work of the higher initiate. The divine warrior guides you to your divine destiny. Divine warrior energy exists as the inner propulsion to continue with a worthy path, even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of herself to the cause. It might be more wisdom, more focus, intelligence, or more surrender into the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. This part of you will lead you to spiritual success. The oracle of divine destiny is a call to your inner divine warrior. This part of you has self-esteem and believes that what you desire is worth whatever effort, personal growth, application, focus, and attention are required to obtain it, provided it aligns with your divine destiny. This part of you acts in personal integrity, and if the goal will compromise integrity, then the goal is refined until it shines like a diamond in your heart. Then the divine warrior can bring it into being. The path of the divine warrior is not one of a means to an end. The means and the end are considered equally important. The divine warrior will succeed in bringing about your destiny, but it has to be done in a way that is in integrity with your deeply held spiritual values. There are important teachings on the path of the goddess about the need for surrender and allowing for the best possible manifestation. Our inner divine warrior is not at odds with this, but continuously surrenders into the greater unfoldment and play of cosmic forces, seeking to align with those forces for the greatest power and flow. This oracle of divine destiny comes at a time when there is something you feel you are struggling to attain. It may be a vague sense or a clear vision. There is something within your heart that you have almost given up hope on, wondering if it will ever really come together. This oracle comes with the message that although you may feel this struggle or challenge, it is not a sign to step away in this situation. It is a sign instead to put your faith in the divine warrior within you. This warrior may shift approach, change expectations, go within to find resources that you require, or find a completely different path to get you to your destiny. Do not give up the fight. Anybody have something that you feel like you've been struggling to keep alive? It could be a dream, a goal, a mission, a desire. You're feeling like it might feel, as it does with me right now, things feel like everything has been feeling like it's just being ripped apart. And because I've been through this in the past, and I am a spiritual warrior, I suppose, in my own way, um, certainly anybody who's got an abusive partner who's come to me for a reading knows my warrior side, because I will be so upset on your behalf. But I have noticed that when I personally, this is just for me, and you should share if it's the truth for you too, or what your truth is about it. But for me, when it feels like things are just being absolutely ripped apart at the seams, completely torn apart, then what ends up happening is it's almost as if all of those pieces have to be taken apart like a watch. All the little intricate bits have to be taken apart, put into a cleaning solution, agitated, brushed off, and then reassembled. And so sometimes something feels like it's dying. It might be a dream, it might be a goal or a plan or something that you love that you're attached to, and it feels like it's dying. And that dream just hurts. It hurts as it's being pulled in all these directions. But that does not mean that the dream is not coming to fruition. Sometimes it means that the dream is going to come to fruition in a different way. And sometimes it means you need to open up the box that you've been holding that dream in and let it breathe a little. Because the dream that you are holding, or the vision that you are holding for a healed and whole world, is going to rise out of that box like a being coming back to life after death, but it will not exactly be the same as when you put it in that box. So you're going to have, it's almost like taking apart all your old clothes and using them to make a beautiful new quilt. That quilt will cover you, will keep you warm, will protect you, will remind you of all the good times that you had in those clothes that might no longer fit or that might have gotten threadbare. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, huh, I'm all still there. All of the parts are still there, but they're there in a different way than I expected that they would be. And Reverend Corey says, yes, lots of energies of recognizing my procrastinations because I'm dealing with energy shifts in day to day activities, having to cut some toxic things and people out of my life. And it hurts to make those changes. Yes, I understand that. But I know I have to do what is in my best interest. Yes, it's like, you know, realistically, the best thing we can do when we have toxic people or toxic situations or circumstances in our lives is to find a way to compassionately let go. We can't always have the conclusion that we wish we could have. Some people just won't have it. You might want to try to work something out. You might want to try to talk something out. You might want to say to somebody, like, hey, this hurt me. I want to talk about it. They may or may not be open, mature enough, compassionate enough, ready enough to hear it. But if they are meant to hear it, when you compassionately release them and let them go, eventually they come back and they tell you, oh, yeah, I'm really sorry. That I should have just talked it over with you. Or if it's like a job or a toxic situation, like where you have to let go of an activity or a group or something like that, you know, that may not come back around in exactly that same form with those same people or that same title of that same job. But what you will find is that you meet it again in its refreshed form and you get a chance to do better. You get a chance to have a better connection. There are certain soul families on this planet. You know, I would say that it's a limitless yet limited number. There's limitless number of possible expressions of these soul families, but the core values of these soul families are the same. And you might see the mark of that soul family in several different individuals through your life. And at every turn with those individuals, you will see certain things that are the same. It could be that their attitudes are the same, or their preferences are the same, or their um, methods of talking are the same, or expressions, even. But then you will see it happen again and again and again until you know it. You know that soul family. And then you're able to say, oh, okay, soul family of this, I see I'm encountering you in a new form. I'm going to get a chance to work with you again. I want to be able to work with you. I want to be able to commune with you. I want to be able to be at peace with you. In the Dharma, we refer to the five Buddha families as the five soul families in a way. In a way, these are elemental in nature, but they're also, it's complicated. Like the five soul families are elemental in nature, but they also describe certain characteristics of behavior. They also describe certain medical tendencies. They also describe certain whole practices that benefit that soul family. Entire lineages will be formed underneath one of those Buddha families. And then there are those of us who might not feel like we belong to any one soul family, and that we kind of journey around and encounter all the different soul families. And that is what I think is meant by the higher initiation here. It's, can you go anywhere and find the truth of everywhere? I'll say that again. Can you go anywhere and still find the truth of everywhere? If you can, then you might have that rare warrior bodhisattva quality that allows you to be in all places with all different kinds of beings, growing and learning on multiple levels. But maybe you feel like you strongly identify with one soul family, and that doesn't mean that there's not a higher calling there. It means that the higher calling there is to become the exquisite and radiant manifestation of all of the higher qualities of that Buddha family. So there's the, different types of, elements. Are you a fire family person? Are you a earth family person? But it's also, are you a cosmic being that can journey amongst all the worlds and find resonance in all of them? And that is a step toward becoming a Buddha, that ability to journey between and find the communion with all. So living out your divine destiny means that if you're doing it right, you will meet yourself coming and going from various different stances. You will meet yourself coming and going in interactions with people again and again. You'll be like, this again. I've been here with this before. What did I learn from it last time? Or this person really reminds me of someone else. Why do they remind me of that person? And what do I have to learn from that person? So let's today really listen deeply within. Your divine destiny is that which has always been with you and has never gone away, no matter how many times your life has changed. It could be your commitment to art. It could be your commitment to motherhood. It could be your commitment to justice, social justice. It could be that there's some aspect of your spiritual path that you've known since you were a child was true, and it's still true. And no matter how many times the fabric has been disassembled, darned, and reassembled, you find yourself in it. You look at the new fabric, you look at the new quilt, and you see yourself. Oh, there's that little strip of pink that's been in every one of them. Look for that today and claim your divine destiny. A much more cheerful divination than yesterday. And I, for one, am glad of it. I'm going to be really, today, I actually have this book that was made for me by my family when I turned 30, because I asked them to do it. They said, what did I want for my 30th birthday? And I said, I really wanted them to make me a book with reflections about our life together, because I'm a very in the moment person, and I don't always remember the past very clearly. I have recollections, but it's not like I reminisce a lot, I guess is the way I should put it. I don't spend a lot of time in reminiscence or nostalgia. I am very, what's happening right now is the only thing that's happening. And so I asked them to make this book for me, and they did. And it's a beautiful little book. And it reminded me of all of these happy times that we had together. And I feel like I'm going to go and find that book today and look through it and see, what do they remember from my childhood that I can identify is still here today. Maybe for you, it's a little different. You might look at a picture of yourself from when you were a child, or you might reflect on a very specific memory and think about who's there with you. Who was there with you at that time? What part of yourself was there, awake and cognizant at that time, that is still with you now? And were there any guiding spirits or a presence that was with you at that time that's still with you now? That should be some helpful guidance for you on understanding better the path of your individual divine destiny. That's our short bit for today. Oh, thank you for saying so, Patricia. Patricia says, every time I tune in, your ceremony is what's needed. Thank you so much. And and she says she'd like to book a reading with me. I would love to have you book a reading with me. You can do that at sacredwell.com or mountshastagaddesstemple.com. Either on sacredwell.com, it's under readings. On mountshastagaddesstemple.com, it's under services. I'd love to read for you. And that goes for anybody. I don't really talk about that very much, but I do love to read for people. So our short bit: go out there and rediscover your divine destiny. It's been with you all along. It's just, you've got to kind of find the little strip of magenta that's been in every quilt of you. 3 prostrations now before the shrine of Guanyin. And now let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention: a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. It looks like there are many people who are not going to make it out of Afghanistan. Great Mother, protect them. And let's recite the 4 immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Shi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Omahum. 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 Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations now of Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa, as we recall the one who is always ready to protect us as we encounter our divine destiny again and again. Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa. Brief Wind Horse Practice of Tara by Patrul Rinpoche. Lume chuksum chidang chetsun ma galyum hakmadro me jintuyi daki sisu pajornyan draknam yarnu tadang yarji sushindu kepar kaje wangtang lungta nam nyampa sushing chetu gyawalong chije lekpe lamdu drowa dang sering nime te dang den jurshi. Through the blessing and power of the unfailing Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and of Jetsunma, mother of the Buddhas, noble Tara, may our lifespan, merit, prosperity, and renown increase like a waxing moon, like a rising summer lake. Especially may our good fortune, Wangtong, and Windhorse be healed when they weaken, rejoined when interrupted, raised up when sinking down. May whatever we do turn out well, and may good health, long life, peace, and happiness be ours. Lume chuksum chidang jetsunma galyum pakma drome jintu yi daki sesu pelchornyan draknam yarnu dadang yarji sushindu kepar kaje wangtang lungta nam nyampa sushing chetu gyawalong chije lekpe lamdu drowa dang sering nime dedang denjur shi. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum for everyone who is a warrior bodhisattva, conquering and vanquishing the inner demons. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for all of our blessed teachers. May all of my precious teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom, and may they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lamadechin Yeshe Wangmo. Om Swasti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss, Yeshe Wangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxi Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And Jennifer says, it's like growing older and accepting it. All of my parts are still here, just in a different way. Really good way to put it. Our divine destiny carries us on our journey, and you are always part of it, never exempt from it. Be back tomorrow, and I think I may be chanting tomorrow from a different location. See you then.